Hey guys, it's Emily. I'm going to try to look at the camera. I have coffee right here.
The sunlight.
Olivia, open the curtain.
No, I'm freezing.
Oh, she must be a vampire. She said the sun hurts her eyes. So I have a quick minute here before the babies wake up, so I'm going to give you 2 examples of how you can make a decision very quickly. So the first one involves, oh, I almost dropped it. The first one involves a coin. So if you have a yes or no question, you're like, oh my God, I don't know how to answer this question. I don't know what it is. I want you to flip a coin. So tails is yes, heads is no. You flip it, bam, whatever shows up, heads, what did we say that was, yes or no? Whatever it comes up as, if that's the decision that you have to make is by flipping this coin, and this is a yes, and really in your heart and your mind and your whole body you wanted it to be a no, then you'll be disappointed when heads comes up and the answer to your question is yes. You're like, oh, then there you go. There's your answer. That's the quickest way to make a decision. Simple, simple, simple. Okay, the next one is a little more complicated, but not so complicated. This is an exercise for you to do. So I want you to write down all your values or your responsibilities or things that, hi Heather, all the things that you have going on in your life. So
My eyes. Oh my God.
Olivia says her
I
eyes
hate the sun.
are burning. I love the sun.
I hate it.
Oh, we're not allowed to say that word.
I don't like the sun.
Hate. We're not allowed to say that word in our house. So, okay, here's an example. These are your priorities, let's say. So you have Heather just popped on. So her dogs are a priority. Herself is a priority. Her husband, her job. I'm using you, Heather, as an example, but let's just do it in general.
Can I have seconds?
Your house, your...
Yes.
No, you're not allowed to have more ice cream.
I want something else to eat.
Okay.
There's like no food.
There's tons of food in the house. There's tons of food here. Don't kids always say that? There's nothing to eat? I used to say that when I was younger. Okay, so all your priorities, say. So I want you to list all of your priorities. Sorry for the TV being so loud in the background. All your priorities. Your kids, your dog, your job, your house, yourself. List all your priorities and try and list them in the order of how you take care of them. So if you find your job comes first, put your job first. If you find you put your kids first, write them down. Kids, everything. So write down whatever your priorities are. There could be, I don't know, you could have 6 or 10. When I did this for the first time, job was first. My business was first. Then it was my kids, my family, and I put all my priorities down. So what I want you to do once you have your priorities down is narrow them down to 3 and put yourself first on the top of the list. So this might be uncomfortable for you if you are used to putting yourself dead last. Like I used to put myself dead last, and I'm like, I'd always end up disappointed, burnt out, stressed out. Because if you put yourself anywhere other than first on a list of priorities, then you're going to have trouble in your life. So it's not easy to put yourself first. Olivia's coughing in the background. It's not an easy thing to switch your priorities around and put yourself first, but it's necessary if you don't want to be stressed out, if you want to live a life different than the life you're living right now. If you want anything other than what you have right now, I will guarantee you one of the things you're not doing is you're not putting yourself first. So this whole video was about how to make a decision quickly, and I'll get to that point in a second. But I want you to put yourself first and then put 2 other priorities under those. So if your job's a priority and your kids are a priority, I'm assuming if you're anything like I used to be like number 7. If I could find that, because I write everything in a journal, like everything, that's how I solve my problems. I don't talk to anyone other than I make videos. I haven't made them as much lately, but I solve all my own problems by writing them in a journal. It's way less stressful because people like to talk and they like to talk about you, unless you have like a good friend that's not going to really judge you or talk about what you're talking about to other people, which is very rare. So if you have that person, keep them close. But your values should be in your priorities. Okay, so to make a decision quickly is going to go off of what you value. Also, what your priorities are. So I'm going to give you an example on how to make a decision quickly based on what your priorities are and what you value. So this just happens very naturally for me now. Sometimes if I get like out of whack, tired, or I have too much going on, I'll actually write them down. So my priorities are me, my kids, and work. So I need to work to make money for my kids and myself. But, hey, but I've figured out the easiest way to work by putting it last, making more money per hour, because I have a standard in my life that I like to upkeep. Trust me, at first, when I first did this, I went backwards like 50 steps. It was not an easy thing to do for me, but it doesn't have to be hard. That's all in your mindset. If you want something to be easy, you just make a decision that it's going to be easy. In my mind, I still had this mindset back when, and I know a lot of people that follow me too also have this. You have to, and I always put my fist down on the table, because I think my grandfather did that. You have to work hard for your money. I think he realized later in life, you don't have to work hard for your money. I see that everyone that was watching this live video just went off when I said that. And if you're still watching, keep watching if you're watching this replay, because if I say something that rattles or shakes your current belief and you're so attached to that belief that you have to work hard for your money, you'll want to shut the video off because, and I hope to God you're still watching, you'll want to shut it off because that's part of you. I thought that. I think Brad, my boyfriend, thinks that you have to work hard for your money, and he works really hard, but you do not have to work hard for your money. You don't, okay? That might rattle and shake you up. So back to making a decision quickly. When you know your priorities, and I want you to put yourself first, you say, I am a priority. If you don't have kids, maybe it's your job. Maybe it's your dog. So to make a decision quickly, you're like, oh, should I stop and get an ice cream? Okay, if you've taken care of yourself, but your kids are hungry, ice cream might not be the best choice. And you have to go to work to make money. So, for example, I'm making this up. I went to the gym this morning. I took care of me. I got a glass of water. I took care of me. I am satisfied. My impulse might be, I want ice cream. Okay, so then quickly I have to think, what do my kids need? Because I've satisfied my own needs by going to the gym and drinking my water. My kids are hungry and my daughter needs allergy medicine. Ding, 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 ding. Emily doesn't need ice cream. Of course, this is just a simple example. My kids need food, and one of my children needs allergy medicine. ice cream, it's not happening. It's absolutely not happening. It's not good for me. It's a treat, like a once in a while treat. It doesn't have to be an impulse. My kids right now are more important than my need ice cream, okay? So I get them looked after, everything, we're at home. What do they need? Did I fulfill their needs? Are they quiet? Are they full? Are they, okay, they're napping. Everything's good. Could take 20 minutes, could take 2 hours. It's my job to fulfill my children's needs, and now I'm working. Now, if you put work or your kids first, if you put work first, you probably shipped your kids off to a daycare for the day. Then you went to work and you didn't go to the gym. You're not putting yourself first. So you took care of your kids, which is a priority above work, or maybe work is above kids. If you're going to work and you're bringing your kids to a daycare, you're rushing to fulfill these needs to go make money because your life is centered around making money, living, doing what you think you're supposed to do or what everyone else is doing. I don't do what everyone else is doing. I never have. It's, in my opinion, it's a better life. It can be lonely if you're not really self-aware and you don't enjoy your own company. So I enjoy my own company. I enjoy the company of my kids, and I do a job and work that I love. Now, this took me years to figure out. So just listen to my knowledge of what I have to say. I've learned a lot of my knowledge from my grandfather, who I watched very closely in his habits, and I would actually, there's other people too, I would actually pay him to just be around him. I didn't, but I mean, that is part of the whole coaching industry. I just joined I'm constantly in a coaching program or something, learning from and picking up on other people, because in the small town I live in, there aren't many options for friends or successful people that I have the opportunity to be around, especially because I'm mainly a stay-at-home mom. I don't have that option, so the internet is a great place for me to be around people that I want to, I believe the word is emulate, or be like, or pick up on, because my main business is run online. I have a couple other little businesses that are run locally, but what's going to get me to where I want to be and the life I want to live is definitely the online world.
Can I have $17 for my allowance today?
$10. But you have to empty the dishwasher too.
No.
Okay, so back to the priorities. Put your priorities, yourself first. I'll repeat this a million times because it's so ingrained in what I do now, that you put yourself first. You put yourself first. You have to put yourself first. Okay, so what do you value? I would say this also plays into, this is just totally off the cuff here. What do you value? I value my freedom probably above all else. I value honesty. I love when people are honest with me, and I'm honest with myself, and I'm honest with other people. What would the other value be? Growth. Definitely, I value growth. So I'll encourage you that whatever the first 3 things that you think of, and I do this with a method I call 1, 2, 3 for productivity as well. Whatever the first 3 things you think of, those are it. Don't overcomplicate it by being like, I'm going to do this crazy quiz on, I know a friend of mine which is also someone I went to for coaching. She got me to lay out all these like 100 different words and pick out what my values are. And really honestly, you're smart in everything that you think. So the first thing that you think of is normally the decision you want to make, or the first three things. So what do I value? Ask yourself that. What do I value? Take a pen and paper. That's my favorite. I love journals. Take a pen and paper and say, what do I value? Even write the question down and then write the first three things that come up. Don't question them. Don't think about what anyone else thinks that you should want or thinks that you should think that you want. It's always what you know that you want. So if you're so used to the outside world reflecting and being like a huge part of the decisions that you make, thanks for the hearts, you're not going to ever live a fulfilling life because you're too worried about what everyone else is thinking. Don't worry about what anyone else thinks, which isn't always easy, but it's something you can definitely overcome. So they say public speaking is one of the biggest fears. If you can overcome public speaking, I hear one of my kids crying. So I have to go get, I think it's the baby, the wee baby, little man, wee man. So if you can overcome a fear, if you go on Google and look up like the top 10 fears, and you can quickly pick out, man, that's my biggest fear. That's the one that you have to overcome. So start working on that one. I'm just always going to give you things that are going to push your life forward. But I have to go because I have to go get my son. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.